A very good afternoon and welcome to Younib TV News at 1 Bulletin, where we'll be bringing you news from political storm over Nairobi leadership, where Governor Sakaja miraculously survived impeachment move by MCAs following ODM leader Raila Odinga's intervention. We'll be bringing you this and many more, but before that, let's take a look at the highlights.
Reasonable bond or terms or cash pay, reasonable cash pay, for the following reasons. There is no officer from the county government, including the first accused person who is present before court, who has been charged with abuse of office.
You knowingly acquired an indirect private interest with a sum of
hapa iko na account ya Hustler Fund. Tuko na watu 26 million wako ndani ya Hustler Fund. There is no other bank with that kind of customer base. Na kuna mtu hapa amekuja kuuziwa mali yake kwa sababu ya Hustler Fund. So mnajua zile zingine ukidefault mwezi 2-3 wanakuja wanachukua sufuria, wanachukua nini. But we say Hustler Fund is meant for
applicable. Stop the nonsense. And they want to build a road through Karura. Please stop Karura. Don't deal with Karura forest. There's a clear agreement between the Forest Association and KFS. We cannot have this country go backwards.
Welcome, my name is Eunice Mutua. President William Ruto has declared that the government will cover the Social Health Authority fees for 1.5 million Kenyans who cannot afford the scheme. During an engagement with grassroots leaders from Turkana County at State House, Nairobi, the head of state disclosed that the payment mechanisms will commence next week after a successful identification process has been completed. Ruto also addressed critics of the Hustler Fund, asserting that since its launch in November 2022, 72 billion shillings has been distributed to ordinary Kenyans.
Matanabo. God willing, from next week, we are now going to pay for the 1.5 million Kenyans who have no capacity to pay. We will pay for them. And I am very happy that hata kama watu wananipigia kelele wale wanalipa zaidi, lakini that is how we are going to have a nation where nobody has to sell their property. Mtu asiuze shamba, mtu asiuze ng'ombe, ati anaenda kulipa bili ya hospitali. Na hiyo Hustler Fund, unajua kuna watu wengine mabwenyenye wajeuri wanakaa hapa Serena. Niliona juzi walitoa statement hapo Serena kusema ati Hustler Fund iondolewe. Mtu ameenda Serena amekunywa chai ya 2000 shillings. Alafu anasema kwani 1000 itasaidia mtu na nini? Ajui 1000 inaweza kununua stock ya mtu for one day afanye biashara na asonge mbele. Kama umelipa ama hujalipa, that's another story. Lakini kila mtu hapa iko na account ya Hustler Fund. Tuko na watu 26 million wako ndani ya Hustler Fund. There is no other bank with that kind of customer base. Na kuna mtu hapa amekuja kuuziwa mali yake kwa sababu ya Hustler Fund. So mnajua zile zingine ukidefault mwezi 2-3 wanakuja wanachukua sufuria, wanachukua nini. But we say Hustler Fund is meant for ordinary people.
The government has postponed the transfer of over 7,400 universal health coverage workers until next year. The Ministry of Health will continue to pay the salaries of the workers during this period while they will be on a permanent and pensionable employment scheme until June next year. This was agreed upon after extensive discussions between Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale and the Board of Governors.
Governors and the Ministry of Health will work collaboratively to resolve all pertinent issues concerning UHC contracts, and we agree that their contract runs until the end, which is for most of them April, May 2026. But in this intervening period, we pay them at the SRC rates using the money that the ministry has.
The transition, the issue that is pending is for us to transfer and for the counties to do permanent and pensionable. The money must be factored in and seen in the Division of Revenue Act. The next Division of Revenue Act is next year, financial year. So we have agreed, the money Treasury has provided, so that 7.7 will be transferred and will be factored in and will feature in the Division of Revenue Bill. And that is when the issue of our UHRC finally will become.
ODM leader Raila Odinga has taken steps to alleviate the tension regarding the impending impeachment of Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. He has urged the members of the County Assembly to prioritize dialogue and service delivery over political maneuvering. During his discussions with ODM MCAs and Governor Sakaja, both sides agreed to address their issues within a month.
Tumeenda kuongea yale yanawahusu wale ma MCS ambao wamekuwa na changamoto kupitia mkutano yao ambao wamekuwa nayo, na walikuwa napanga kumtoa governor, na walikuwa wameweka sahihi za kutosha za kumtoa governor wa Nairobi Bwana Sakaja. Na sasa tumekubaliana governor aendelee na kazi na vile vile ajumuike na akapewa pia marekebisho ambayo anafaa kufanya katika uongozi wake katika kaunti ya Nairobi. Kwa hivyo yale mazungumzo yamezungumzwa na imekuwa kwa wazi, na nataka kumshukuru kiongozi wetu Bwana Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga kwa kuweza kukutanisha MCAs wote wa Azimio, na wote wameongea kwa kauli moja na wamekubaliana kama ata contest kwa ODM atakuja, na tunamkaribisha aingie kwa chama ndio aweze kusimama kiti ya governor 2027 kwa ODM. Na kama itakuwa hivyo sasa, mimi siwezi kumzungumzia kwa hiyo hali, lakini chama yetu ya ODM ina masharti zake na lazima tukue na candidate katika 2027 election.
Former Bungoma County Governor Wycliffe Wangamati and Bomet County Governor Hilary Barchok were yesterday released by Milimani Court, where they were facing multi-million shilling corruption charges. The two leaders and their associates were released on separate bail conditions, with the court imposing strict conditions on them before their cases are heard and decided.
Reasonable bond terms or cash pay. Reasonable cash pay. For the following reasons. There is no officer from the county government, including the first accused person who is present before court, who has been charged with abuse of office.
You knowingly acquired an indirect private interest with a sum of Kenya shillings 6,500,000 paid to Nabola Construction Limited from the monies paid by the county government of Bungoma.
However, the court should take into account the nature of charges each of the accused persons has pleaded not guilty to.
So the first accused is Wycliffe Wangamati, and his terms of bond are a bond of 5 million, in the alternative a cash bail of 1.5 million. These terms also apply to the accused number 6 and 7. So then we have the second and third accused, and their bonds have been set at 1 million, and in the alternative a cash bail of 400,000 each. The first accused may be released on a bond of 15 million, in the alternative to a cash bail of 5 million. The second accused may be admitted to a bond of 5 million, in the alternative to a cash bail of 2 million. Both accused persons are directed not to contact or in any way interfere with the prosecution witnessing.
And the second-term governor, he undertakes to cooperate with the court. He'll be here as and when required for any of the hearing sessions. He has no intention of interfering with any of the witnesses.
That upon release, on all terms, taking into account the nature of charges.
Our dear viewers, we are going for a short break, but we'll be back with more. Remember to keep it Younib TV.
The best. Hallelujah.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Younib TV. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka, the leader of the Wiper Patriotic Front, has expressed his disapproval over the government's anti-corruption initiative, labeling it as ineffective. He asserts that President William Ruto's administration has been mired in one scandal after another, transforming the nation into a stronghold of corruption. Kalonzo maintains that only the opposition coalition possesses the capability to implement significant measures to eradicate the corruption that jeopardizes the complete functioning of education and healthcare services in the country.
One term. Scandal after scandal, and attempts to sell off Kenya's crucial infrastructure on the cheap are the modus operandi of this disgraced regime. Education, for example, is in shambles from primary through to the university. The 10.6 billion shillings was embezzled to non-existent hospitals and fake patient files, while legitimate hospitals, many of which were founded by missionaries and faith-based groups years before independence, were forced to close due to unpaid genuine claims. This is inexplicable. Stop the nonsense. They want to build a road through Karura. Please stop Karura. Don't deal with Karura Forest. There's a clear agreement between the Forest Association and KFS. We cannot have this country go backwards. As the government in waiting, we will insist on the perpetrators being tried for crimes against humanity. This rot is not just limited to the healthcare sector. The e-citizen government platform for handling public funds is a haste.
Police in Mirangiini, Nyandarua have arrested 2 suspects in the murder of a 17-year-old boy, Samson Kahuria, from Lamana village in the county. Kahuria's family says he died after being tortured in a house in Kiongo on Friday after being accused of stealing 2 pairs of trousers. According to them, he was stripped naked and forced to walk through a bush near the Kiongo pond before being found and rushed to JM Karaoke Olkalau Hospital, where he died. Police say they are continuing their investigation and will charge them to court.
Kijana yangu ni kijana, najua kufanya kazi yake, kazi mzuri. ni kijana mzuri sana, anafanyaga kazi yake na hakuna siku hata mmoja nisikia ati kijana yangu ameiba mahali ama amepigana na mtu. Ni kijana mtulivu. Sasa tunataka haki itendeke ya kijana yangu.
Leo tunasikia ati isipokuwa ni venye chief alitumia DC, akatumia DO, hakuna mtu angekuwa ameshikwa. Na saa hii hao ndio tu anaweza tupatia hata huyo mwingine watatu mwenye alipitishia huyo kijana kwa hii majani ya kuchoma. Mnaona hata haijazongeshwa. Ni penye tu aliambiwa aingie bila guo. Hiyo ni unyama kiasi gani jameni?
Haya, nimesema mpaka kwenye tumefikisha. Watu wawili wameshikwa na bado tunaendelea. Na mimi najua kwa maombi yenu, kwa maombi yetu, Mungu atatujalia mpaka dakika ya mwisho haki itatendeka. Mimi naongea na nyinyi kama askari, mimi naongea na nyinyi kama mzazi, hata mimi niko na mtoto ya hiyo miaka. Na ile uchungu yenye mko naye, hata mimi niko hapa ni mmoja wenu.
Gambia is currently in Nairobi getting ready for their FIFA World Cup qualifier against Harambee Stars this Friday at the Moi International Stadium, Kasarani. Gambia, also known as the Scorpions, currently have 4 points and are trailing group leaders Cote d'Ivoire by 12 points. They are managed by former Gor Mahia coach Jonathan McKinstry, who signed a 2-year contract in 2024 after achieving consecutive league titles for the Kenyan champions.
It's very important. It's an important game for Gambia because although it's going to be a difficult one because Kenya have the home advantage, as I said earlier, and they have their home fans and stuff like that. But it's not going to be easy. We know that, and we need to be prepared for the game. Most important thing is like you have to focus and then train hard. It's not easy to get in the Premier League. Although when you look like 3-4 years ago, I was in Gambia, but now I'm playing in the top level, which is not easy. The journey was really hard. But for me, all I do is like I focus on God first, and then second is training and to listen to your coaches and then know what to do.
Yeah, look, it's always nice to come back, but ultimately we're here for business. You know, for me, we can enjoy it afterwards. The aim is to try and collect 3 points. We know that's not going to be easy because we expect there to be a very sort of hostile environment. The Kenyan supporters will come out in their tens of thousands to support the Harambee Stars. We've seen that through the Chan tournament, you know, very well supported games here at Kasarani. Obviously, Kasarani holds lots of good memories for me. I think my own last 2 games here were trophy winning games in terms of the Charity Shield and the final of the league a couple of years ago. So, but all of that doesn't count for anything. We've got to go on and put a performance and look to try.
And that news sports wraps up our 1 p.m. bulletin here at Younib TV. For more on these stories and breaking news, follow us on our social media platforms. My name is Eunice Mutua, and from all of us here at Younib TV, have a beautiful afternoon.
Younib